tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Voice in the semifinals. We are in the semifinals just 1 week away from the big finale, closing out 2014 for The Voice. I am Christian Rosenberg, and you're hearing me introduce the show because I'm the only host here right now. Jason and Chloe are both currently on the red carpet, which started about an hour later than planned. So they're getting all the great interviews of all the semifinalists and the coaches and all that good stuff. You're going to make sure that you tune in to the AFTERBUZZ YouTube page, as well as their American Voice Factor page, to get all those videos. And, of course, you can follow them at Jason Eichler and at Chloe WestX. And Stephanie Georgie is under the weather. She will be back here next week. Feel better, Stephanie, at Stephanie Georgie. I'm Christian Rosenberg, at Real Rosenberg. I'm doing the Twitters right at the beginning because I can. And I'm going to talk about tonight's performances, where I'm going to be honest. We've all been talking here, Jason, Chloe, myself, Stephanie, even Whitney when she's come in, how we felt really underwhelmed throughout this season, that we didn't really feel like a lot of people were standing out this year. Just like they all seemed good, but nothing that could be marketable. But I don't know. Tonight, to me, everything changed. Everyone, all five of them delivered. And I had a set mind on who I thought was going to be in the finals, and now I'm utterly confused. And a big part of that is the fact that they just suddenly announced out of the blue, we're going to have a fourth finalist. Not three, before the season. So at first I'm thinking, fine, we'll just eliminate one person. We have our final four for next week, all said and good. Nope. Everyone that was in the final 12 is going to be going for that fourth spot. I really wish the rest of the guys were here when they announced that, because we'd be debating this for like 15 minutes. Here's my question. If everyone's getting a chance to be in the finals, why do we eliminate anybody to begin with? We could have spent the last several weeks getting to know every single person. We've gotten to know these people now that are semifinalists, but now someone that got to the final five has the chance to lose to whoever ended 12th. I mean, the chances are slim with that, but there is still that chance that all of a sudden someone like, Reagan or Ryan or Jackie or Jessie, see, I can't even remember her name, but she could get in the finals. They like to keep changing things every season to stay fresh, but something like this, to me, it loses the value of advancing. It loses the value of being saved on Twitter. It loses the importance of an elimination type show if all of a sudden when you get down to 12, you can just rest for 3-4 weeks, build up a Twitter following, and then suddenly get into the finals. To me, that seems like a mistake. Maybe I'm wrong, and for all I know, there will be someone that was in the semifinals that will get that fourth spot, and all will be all right. Kind of like how, if you follow college football, the whole 14 playoff seeding, a lot of people were concerned about that because someone would suddenly jump in the last minute, which we kind of had. So we might have something like this, hopefully not, but we'll wait and see how that all goes down tomorrow. With that said, let's get into these performances. So we started with Damian tonight, and every performer was doing two songs, one of the coach's pick, one of their own choice, which was dedication for their hometown. Damian started with She's Out of My Life. This is a Michael Jackson song that not a lot of people realize is a Michael Jackson song. This is not a song that you've heard really on the radio. I haven't heard this song in years. And I have been pretty anti-Damian all season. And this, without a doubt, to me, was his best performance all season. this was, as for being a super emotional singer, which there's no secret about that with Damian, this was the type of song that emotion was displayed well and correctly and flowed well. I loved the setup, how it was just simple, him on a stool with just surrounded by like candles. This is the Damian that I think that I haven't been seeing, that so many people seem to love, and I didn't really see why people really liked it. This finally gave me an opportunity to see it, and this performance shows me why he got this far. And then we get into his second song. He sings I Don't Want to Wait. Really cool, emotional background showing him going through LAX and, you know, seeing his coworkers going home to Monroe. And I'm like, oh, it's a real nice story. It's all cool. And all of a sudden he starts singing. I'm like, he's singing the freaking Dawson's Creek song. Where did this come from? With all the super, like, sappy, emotional love songs that Damian's done all season, he chooses Paula Cole's I Don't Want to Wait. This is pretty much like the only upbeat song he's done like all season. Was really concerned about it because to me, being that it was upbeat and he was having a lot of fun, but then this was next to no emotion to me. He did a great job with it, no doubt about it. And I actually thought, you know, it was kind of a nice rearrangement of the song and almost like kind of like a fun R&B. I would say like almost like a late 90s upbeat R&B type version of the song, which I enjoyed. I was just thrown off that all of a sudden this is what we got from Damian. A lot of people that watch the show that are in that 30 to 40 year old range, the female demographic, they're downloading this song as I'm speaking because they're like, oh my God, it's a Dawson Creek song. I love the Dawson Creek song. They still have James Vanderbeek posters on their wall probably. So I think it ended up being a good song choice for him. I was thrown off by it, but the way he did She's Out of My Life, I thought Damian did a phenomenal job this evening. Next up, our country guy from Team Blake, Craig Wayne Boyd. He starts things off with the Working Man Blues. Definitely, and he even shouts it at the beginning of the song, we're going to have some honky tonk for you. Here's the thing. How many people download honky tonk songs on iTunes? I love Craig. I've been a supporter of Craig. This song, he was pretty, and it's just the way the song is he pretty much is even keel the whole time. It's the same rhythm, the same tone, the same pattern, each verse and the chorus, verse and the chorus, verse and the chorus. It doesn't show off the amount of skills that he has. And I know he had a lot of fun with this song, but when you look at him when this song ended, it didn't look like he ever broke a sweat, which to me means you wouldn't really put in, I don't want to say not put an effort in, because obviously he's put an effort in, but you're in the semifinals trying to get into the finals of the show. You should be laying everything out on that stage, and you should just be pretty much in like a puddle of your own sweat when it's all done. And there wasn't a single drop on him. So it almost felt like he was just kind of cruising by, taking it easy with this song. So I wasn't too crazy about it. However, as my voice cracks, because apparently I'm hitting puberty, we then later on get to the Old Rugged Cross. And this wasn't like anything that Craig's done all season. This showed off the vocal talents. This showed off the emotion. This was just wonderfully done. Not the type of song, again, that I would expect from him, similar to how Damian was with the Paula Cole song. But in this level of these guys taking risks, some will be good, some might not. I think this was a phenomenal risk for Craig. I think this song could end up saving him, because I didn't think he got too much out of the Working Man Blues, but I think with this Old Rugged Cross song, you're definitely getting the Southern vote. You're getting the family vote for this song. And when you saw him like go back home to Nashville and everything with the big crowd for the concert, I love how they twice showed a couple women with a poster that said "Cougars love Craig." Very TV friendly, and and I don't know. I mean, he's definitely loving it, and he's put in so much time and effort into his career that I think, regardless of what happens, he's going to be doing something, even if it's just at some regular stay in Nashville. He's going to do well for himself. So I loved this performance of Old Red Cross. Wasn't crazy about Working Man Blues, to be honest. But, we'll see how Craig ends up. Guys, what do you think? Oh, you agree with me. Awesome. I love being able to just talk to myself in this show. I'm right about everything. And I'm sure all of you can mention that on the YouTube page and iTunes. And on my Twitter, I'll plug it again because no one's going to stop me, @RealRosenberg. But, of course, leave us a comments on iTunes. Make sure you give us 5 stars, like, subscribe, tell your friends about the wonderful world of AfterBuzz and all of the shows that we do here, because we do a lot. We do like about 60 shows a week. You can see the full schedule at AfterBuzzTV.com and the YouTube page as well, where you leave comments and keep the conversations going. Taylor John Williams, Falling Slowly. Wow. Like, first off, awesome strategy by Gwen, because this was Gwen's pick, but Gwen talked about how this is one of Taylor's favorite songs and he performs it all the time, so I thought it'd be a great idea for him to use it. So essentially, Taylor got to pick 2 songs. And this is the exact type of style that Taylor should sing all the time. He's like, I don't know how you would combine him. You think of like Chris Martin, Ben Folds, Ed Sheeran, the guy from Radiohead. I mean, just like so many like little aspects here or there, just all wrapped into this really lanky guy who loves top hats. And it's just a beautifully done performance, a beautiful song, and it was just absolutely flawless performance. I honestly think this was my favorite performance of the night. I'm torn between this one and one other, but this was really, really well done. Then he goes and we talked about taking risks earlier. He goes and sings Taylor Swift's Blank Space. Mind you, this is pretty much like the #1 song in the country right now. Also, mind you, that Taylor Swift was literally on last week performing this song, or maybe 2 weeks ago now. So all of a sudden, he pops in and just does a complete different arrangement of the like #1 song in America right now. There seemed like something early on. He was playing with his earpiece a lot. Something wasn't clicking. I don't know if it was just a problem with the earpiece, but it seemed a little hesitant early on, and then picked up as it went on. One style that we really haven't seen Taylor do too much of is the fast-paced staccato lyrics, which you have in this song. And although I thought he did a very good job doing it, we definitely found, if any weakness in this guy, this would be it. And weakness, I feel, is too harsh a term, because he still did a great job with it. It just seemed a little awkward for him to do this so soon, especially when Taylor's song is so high still in the charts. It's one thing when the song starts to fall a little bit and a new arrangement comes out for people to get, but the song is still fresh enough where are people going to download this other version when they still are in love with the Taylor Swift version? That's the roll of the dice that he's taking. But again, overall, very, very good night by everybody. It was just a really good night, and we'll see if taking this gamble pays off for Taylor. Matt McAndrew. Matt, the man that Jason is in love with this season. He always has someone he's in love with, and I do too, but mine got eliminated early, so I've had to listen to him all season. Make It Rain. I love how we had a random Sons of Anarchy plug in this by Adam Levine. And this is the first I've heard this Ed Sheeran song. And it's just a fantastic song and a perfect choice for Matt. and his kind of like unique alternative sound. I don't know how more perfect of a performance you can get than what we had with this one. It was just like the setting was cool, with the jacket, and just a raw energy, the just raw power and commitment. And Adam talked about how it doesn't matter what type of song this guy sings, he can sing anything. And this is proof. He's sang Ed Sheeran, he's sang Beach Boys, and then after this he just goes and freaking kills U2. I mean, he sings Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and my notes were all caps, holy crap, he can sing Bono too. And this, it's weird for me to say this because, like I said, I think Taylor's might have been my favorite performance of the night, but I think this was the performance of the season. Because this, just the whole setup, it was a full-on concert. The crowd was into it. Matt obviously was into it. And he nailed everything. The super high note at the end. This guy is the guy to beat. Plain and simple. And it's funny because he's not your typical quote-unquote look that the networks might want. You know, kind of scraggly hair, he's got a tattoo on his neck, ink all over his body. But he's so talented and really smart with his choices of songs. That's a combination of him and Adam, the way he works the stage. I mean, and he has this experience being that he's a music teacher, teaching all different students how to do performing. He's just taking, you know, pretty much lessons that he's given to other people and putting it forth for himself. And this is a pro in an amateur game right now. This guy is something special. And I really, really hope, regardless of what happens with him in this show, that he gets a successful record deal and a real big single and good album, because he can sell records without a shadow of a doubt. Finally, we got the heartthrob Chris Jamison, and talk about, you know, aiming at your target audience. Starts with Maroon 5's next single, Sugar, where it's you know you're doing all right when your coach, who's Adam Levine, is letting you premiere his next single for him. I mean, that's not a normal thing. And this to me felt like a VMA performance, you know, back when MTV actually played music videos. And like the whole set with the lights, it felt almost like I was on a roller coaster ride when they were zooming in on him with the crazy background. I felt I was getting a little nauseous, I'm not going to lie. And he had that walking out from it, all like, you know, the hot girls dancing around him. This was a full-on like Justin Timberlake-esque performance. And this is really probably the closest performer we've ever had on The Voice to someone like a Justin Timberlake. I'm not saying he's as good as Justin Timberlake because he's just a consummate performer. But compared to other contestants we've had on The Voice, if this guy learned how to dance, I mean, he'd be the all-around type performer. The good-looking young guy, the awesome falsetto, incredible falsetto. Blake was constantly talking about it. And this could have been, if we didn't know this was the next Maroon 5 single, we could have thought, oh, this is going to be Chris's first single. He did it that good. And then finally, he closed out the show with When I Was Your Man. And there have been people over the last couple seasons that have done this show and have done this song, and they've been good. Some have been very good. This guy, again, targeting his audience. His audience is pretty much your like 13 to 30 range, maybe even less than that, maybe like 26 of, you know, teenagers, younger girls, and, you know, and just, you know, and the teenage guys who are rooting for, oh, he seems cool, he's around our age. He nails this. Like, this again felt like it was a Chris Jamison song, not a Bruno Mars song. And Bruno Mars is an incredible talent. And we were even seeing him at his college performing Bruno Mars' latest song. And he just was so comfortable doing it. He's grown so much on this show. He's probably grown the most out of any of the 5 semifinalists. And it's going to be really, really tough to pick between these people. And the high note he hits at the very end of this song, that's how you win a semifinals, without a shadow of a doubt. This, to me, I mean, this is my 4th season doing the AfterBuzz for this show, and I honestly cannot remember another semifinal night that was this good by everyone. I mean, there have been other singers that have just been blowing me out of the park, but everyone, they knew what was at stake tonight, and they delivered. And then there's that note that I was just talking about, because it's just insane. So I had to talk about it again. So now would be normally the time where we go through predictions. So, Christian, what do you predict? Well, I'll tell you, Jason. And I have a feeling they're all going to agree with me, because they can't rebuttal. If I were picking 3 people, first off, the 3 that I would want in the finals, the 3 that I feel would be the best for the Voice, and the ones that I think will be like the most successful, would be, I would have Matt, Taylor, and Chris. However, if I were to predict the top 3 that America votes in, I honestly think it would be an all-team Adam final, which is like unprecedented, where it would be Damian, Matt, and Chris. And that's another reason why I think they're throwing this 4th finalist in, because there are such big odds that it could be an all-team Adam finale, and they don't want that for some reason. So we're like, oh, we're going to throw a bone to the rest of you guys to try to get back in. Well, no, they performed. The whole point of the show is for America to vote for who they want. America did not want these other people, but now we're giving them one more chance. I think Craig could end up being that 4th based on the votes, because Craig has defined himself as the comeback guy, being saved twice. I believe he was saved by America early on in the live rounds. I would not be surprised if Craig ends up being that 4th. If I were to pick a sleeper as far as someone that's been eliminated for a little bit, I don't sleep on Reagan. I mean, she was the one that I thought could have won it back when we were down like 10 people. And because she's unique, she's super confident. She's only 16 years old, a very cool voice, very cool performer. So I think that could be a dark horse as far as someone to sneak in for that 4th spot. But I'm going to say that America votes in all of Team Adam, Damian, Matt, and Chris. And then the instant stave will go to Craig. That is my prediction. Jason, Chloe, Stephanie, oh, they all agree. Awesome. So clearly I'm saying something right. So that's going to do it for this solo version of The Voice semifinals. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed listening to it on iTunes. Hope you enjoyed watching on YouTube. Those of you watching live on AfterBuzzTV.com, thank you for sticking around. I know you guys listen all over the world. In some places, it's like 4 a.m. So thank you so much for tuning into that. Next week will be The Voice finale. And hopefully all 4 of us will be here, so then we can talk about it and celebrate it. And they'll probably talk about how amazing I did by myself this week. Once again, Jason Eichler, you can follow him at Jason Eichler, Chloe West at Chloe West X, Stephanie Georgie at Stephanie Georgie, and me, the one, that you love and aspire to be. You can follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg, And also, if you're a wrestling fan, check me out this Friday on WWE SmackDown AfterBuzz. And, of course, for all your AfterBuzz TV news and updates and links to recaps, you can follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. I'm Christian Rosenberg. I'll see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.